Today's mission for me is to get some microgreens going because I have company who's arriving the last week in June. Now, the last week in June for me here in Newfoundland Zone 5B is still the very end of the Hungry Gap. And because it's the end, it means I'm pretty much out of all my storage also. But they're coming to visit, and I can't imagine not having something from the garden to give them. So I started working on a plan 2 months ago, and that included it 3 weeks out to start some microgreens. Now, I do grow some microgreens, not in a big effort, but I grow them when it's blustery and stormy and snowy outside, and I really want to have some greenery or get my hands in some soil. And I will start pea shoots and any, just a small batch of seeds that may have spilt. There's always seeds in the bottom of my tins, which could be radish seeds or whatnot. And I use those mostly for culinary use to make food look lovely. And of course they're packed with nutrients, but I don't do it in a big batch. But this time I want to, because the company that's arriving is 7 people. I know that sounds funny to those of you who see your family all the time. I don't. I'm here in Newfoundland without any family. They all live in different provinces, so it's a big deal for me. And I can't imagine them coming to Greta's garden and me not having anything from the garden to serve them. So I started a little patch outside, sowing in the snow, and they've been through frost endlessly. We've only just a few days ago had frost, good frost overnight. So those are plugging along. I've got 3 weeks to hopefully see some progress there. But 3 weeks is the time schedule I set for starting the microgreens. Now, microgreens have a range. They could be ready in 2 weeks, and they could be ready in a little over 3 weeks. So I chose 3 weeks as just the center point, and hopefully it will be ready in time, and we'll have some nice greens for the company. Now, the reason there's a range in growth is because it depends on the seeds you're planting, of course. I've chosen some of my saved seeds that I have in abundance actually. So I've got some coriander. I will definitely keep those separately because there's people who don't like coriander. My husband's one of them. I've got some peas, so I will do some pea shoots. I've got lots of mizuna, so I'm going to throw that in. I've got kale, radish, and corn salad. On top of that, my sister, who kindly watches my videos and who's arriving, is I met her up in Toronto on Mother's Day to meet our mother, and she brought me, because she watches my videos and knew I was going to plant microgreens, some microgreen starter kits. So I'm going to try those. I've never done microgreen starter kits. I assume it's the same method, and they give you some good directions. I'll go through those. Non-affiliated, of course, or anything. So let's get going. I'm just using up soil that I have. I want to make this as a little bit zero cost, really, because it's what I've got. And these I never use, these Jiffy Pod things. So I'm going to crumble those up and add to the mix. What's in here right now is some potting soil and some seed starting mix. There are many ways to grow your microgreens in probably a more professional manner, like your big producers might do. This is just how I've always done it. Never in these trays, mind you. I'm using these trays because of the good drainage, and I think it'll work. Normally I just have it without the partitions, But I think this will work for me. And you can cover them, and yeah, there's lots of great info out there on how to perfect growing them. especially if you want to get more serious on it. So, I'll start with kale. I'm just going to sprinkle this on, willy-nilly, not really thinking about it too much, and then I will top it ever so lightly with a dusting of, well, all I've got left is potting mix. I'm heavily seeding because I've got a lot. The family that's coming, by the way, is my son, my daughter, my son-in-law, my grandchild, how exciting, my sister, and the best man at my daughter's wedding, childhood best friend of my son-in-law. How fun! We're going to have a hoot. They've already insisted I make my blueberry wine, which is almost ready. I'm making some infused vodka with my frozen red currant and black currants, just because we'll probably have a little bit of alcohol. And then hopefully some stuff from my garden for my grandchild to pick. By the way, I also just noticed that behind me is a chicken wishbone that may have been in the shots. How embarrassing. You'd think I was 5 years old. Not 59. You know, who's not? Make a wish. Honestly. That's the thing about YouTube, you put yourself out there. Okay, I'll finish these and then I'm going to show you the packs that my sister gave me. Let me mix some of these up too. This is Mizuna. All right, filled those 2 trays. I will now water from below, soak them up, give them some time. And as I said, I'll just lightly cover them. I do always cover, you don't have to. There's, as I say, many ways to do this. I just sprinkle a little bit of dirt and they will go in my window. I take that into account, by the way, when I think of my 3-week growing time. It's only window light, not grow lights. So, you know, adjust to your own scenario. And let me bring it down and show you these. Okay, these little packs, as I say, not affiliated, Bramble Hill Farm Micro Garden. And you just use this whole package. This is from PEI, was it? Oh, Nova Scotia. Well, figures, that's where my sister's from. So they give you directions. So you cut here, and then you will cut this out to use as the packaging to grow in. So here, I've cut my top off, and I don't need that. Oh, I will. And there is inside 2 little grow pods, and they tell you once you soak these with 1/4 cup of water or something like that to take off the outer, it's a plastic really. And these are radish, so I'm going to get on and do these, but let me tell you what I've got first. So there's radish, there's pea shoots, there's fava beans. Oh, they're going to take longer, aren't they? 7, 14, okay, we're pushing the 3 weeks. This is almost 4 weeks, but we'll see what we can get with those. That's very interesting. Never tried the fava beans. And then buckwheat, also I've never tried. And that should be in 3 weeks. So, these are faster. Yeah, so I might be pushing the 3 weeks, maybe going into 4 weeks, but I think we'll certainly have a lot of greens with here. So I'll get on and finish this and show you the finished product of those. So you cut the package and use that as the container. Here I'm soaking with the 1/4 cup of water in the wee pods. So I'll let those soak. And you cut out this from the package And that will go as the cover. So taking the little bag thing off the plastic, they said spread it around. It's really wet. And then sprinkle your seeds. The reason why I believe I've read that, how do I get this on? Microgreens are that much more nutritious is because everything that the plant will need later on down the road as it grows is in this early stage of the plant. Oh, those are cool. I have never seen buckwheat seeds before. So they give you quite a bit. I'm gonna make a mess of this, aren't I? I've got wet hands. So it says just to sprinkle these. Spread them out a bit. And then you just take the wee cover they provide, push down. Oh, I'm going to do it the other way. And there we have it. Well, microgreen job done. Let me know if you grow them and how you grow them, because I know we all do them differently. They're simple, quick to grow, and extremely nutritious. Well, that's all. Thanks so much. We'll see you soon.